Hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome back everybody.
Right, I'm going to turn a piece of yew today. I've got a piece of yew on here. Now, this I've already split a piece, so this had some nasty cracks in it. I've taken that piece off because otherwise it would have flown off. I've got to be careful here because I've got another crack just here that comes down there. Okay, I don't think it goes in very far, so I'm going to see how that goes. Now I've chose this bit because for what I want to turn, I've got a nice bit of the brown of the yew, I've got some lovely sapwood, and I've got the heartwood, the orangey sort of colour, and I'm hoping to keep some of that, all of that in. Okay, now this is spindle turning, so we're between centres. I'm going to have to get a tenon on the bottom so I can get it into the chuck, but I'm going to get it to a sort of a cylinder at the moment. Now what I've done, I've taken a compass to find the centre. I've drawn around on the bottom so I get the full circle in. It's a bit hard to see where this piece is missing. Okay, I've got the full circle, so I know that's the diameter I can get at the base. The top it tapers in, so obviously it's not quite as big a circle, but that's not going to matter because that's going to taper down. But I want to try and keep this chunk at the bottom of this and then shallow it in there. No, it's not a bud vase. Okay. Oh, did you hear that squeak? I'll tell you what,
Did I?
let me just give a quick, and this is all I do for my dry, if I get a dry lathe bed, bit of WD-40, little spray like that, move that across a bit, there we go, look at that, there. Tiny little bit of WD-40, makes everything happy. Right, now I'm going to pull that. Now the other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to use carbide for this, because I was asked when I've done the lamp, someone did mention about, you know, could that be done with carbide, or a sort of more of a, and it could be done with carbide, sort of part question part comment. So, and other people have messaged me to say could I do it with carbide, because they use the carbide, because that's what a lot of it is, they want to know about the carbide, learn how to use them. So that's what I'm going to do. Now normally I would rough something down like this, down with a roughing gouge. Always spindle, always a roughing gouge. But if you just got carbide, you haven't got one. So I'm going to show you. Now everyone pretty much thinks the square carbide is a rough, and mine is just a 14mm square chisel. Okay, or I do a 15mm square chisel depending on what set you get. This is still from the other day when I was using it. You can see the crap on it. I haven't changed the cutters or nothing like that. It's still the same cutter. It's been on here for, oh, I can't tell you how long.
Probably since we started.
Since we started doing the videos. Right, so now the thing is, I'm nice and close here, and I've got quite a big air space here, okay? So this is where it can cause problems with your tools. Now, again, as I've said, if you want catch-free turning, and I'm not talking about catch-free turning here where you get no catches, above centre, you don't want to be on centre line, okay? Centre line, if you're on centre line, you've got a very small margin between going below it and tipping your tool up to go above it. If you're above centre, you'll have no problems. When you come in, you can drop your handle slightly and we can get nice peeling cuts, lovely control. We'll be cutting here most of it. Look, this far above centre is where we do most of our cutting, okay? Which will, because I've got a 30-degree angle, that at that angle, that is the bevel presented, okay? And we will do some of that. Personally, ideally, I would use a round on this, and I would rough it with a round and come along and make some nice cuts. It's a lot safer, especially when you've got bits with cracks in. That's when the square can throw chunks off, okay? Because it hits on here, that's going to be banging on it, and that could throw a chunk off. But I'm going to show you how the square will manage with it. And of course, always, no matter what you're turning, face shield, protect yourself, and a respirator one if you can. Right, okay, let's start this, and I'll try not to keep this video too long. Right, I'm going to move my control over here so I can start this up, okay? And I'm starting slow. Now I was asked a question about if you've got to change the speed by belts, how do you then find out what you can start with? Well, in all honesty on that, you've got to pick a speed and you've got to go with it, okay? And as long as you mount everything securely, I mean this is mounted securely. The lathe wobbles, it wobbles. It doesn't mean this is going to come flying off, okay? But you've got to work with what you've got. Now, I would normally start this at speed, but I'm going to do it because a lot of people are watching and want to know. So right, start it up slow. Right, I'm going to turn it up. Now that's at 980 at the moment. That is too slow for carbide and too slow with a piece of this shape, with all those gaps on it. Right, you can see there we're going to get a wobble. Okay, that's at 1200. Right, now the tendency would be for people to go down, okay, like that, and start turning it around at 840, 900. It's way too slow with those big gaps. That's when you're going to get yourself with problems. Right, so there's the wobble. I'm going up through it. There, we've gone to 1400, 1500, and everything's settled down. I'm going to see where I can go to. Right, I'm at 1850, and that's what I'm going to start with, okay? Just to get some of this down, and it should be nice and quick. Right, so just nice gentle cut. You can see my handle is down. Now again, another thing, if you notice, I'm standing on this side, I'm holding the handle in my left hand. I don't want to be here in the firing line. There's cracks in it. If the bit chunks off, it's going to come straight to me. I'd rather it just hit the wall. So handles down like this, come in there, look, and just raise my handle slightly, and just come in, and you'll see there's no death grips. I'm not holding the trigger, I'm just holding lightly here. And we can go fast if we want. Okay, but we've no need to go fast. Now, what I'm going to do, the temptation is to come back and start getting this a lot narrower, but that will give me too much overhang. I don't want too much overhang, so I'm going to carry on down. Now, see?
Did you see that big bit with the fluff?
Now this is the sort of things I'm on about. That piece just chunked off. Yeah. It's not massive, ain't going to knock me out, but you don't want it hitting you in your face. That's why I stand to this side, and then nothing's going to hit me. Just saw another piece. Just saw it now, look. Oh. See, this is what I'm on about. These are the things that come flying off. Yeah. When you've got these sort of bits of wood, and when you're using a square carbide, that's why it's not what I would recommend. But because I've got that down a bit, I can come in a bit now with my tool rest. There we go. Get it nice and close, do it nice and slow. Watch the shadow, the gap here, and you won't hit the piece. And again, I'm going to come down. Nice little peeling cut, look. That's the bevel in control, see? And all I'm going to do is take this down like this, and I'm not going to fast forward this or anything. I'm going to let you see it, because if a piece is going to fly off, I want you to see it. Not that I think anything's going to fly off, but you never know. You see, all the time my handle, at least you zoom out, yeah, my handle is at this position, and all I'm doing, I'm only holding the tool here. I'm not doing any of this, and I'm certainly not putting it on my body. I'm here, okay? Like this, look. Nice and gentle. Now, if I did get a little catch there, because of the angle of my tool, it would just go back. That would be the end of it. If I do this and on my body and I push in on centre and I get a catch, that's going to go that way. And we don't want that. I mean, it's alright for me being just like skinny and slim, but some of you bigger guys, that chisel's never going to be able to come up, is it? And if that chisel can't come up and go down there, then that piece of wood is going to go up and go off there. Right, I'll just have a look at it. See how we're going with the cracks. Right, okay, you can see it's as rough as a nun's armpit. But we're just pushing in, so we'll never get a good finish just pushing carbide in. Right, but the crack hasn't caused us a problem. I have still got a bit of a crack there, but it might still be there at the end, I don't know. But there, we've got that down to there. Now, like I said, my recommendation would not be to use the square, okay? I would recommend, for the roughing down part of this, would be to use the round. And this is just the round out of the standard Type 3 set. Don't forget, £85, free UK postage. Right, okay, I'm going to start up again. We're still at the same speed of 1800, but I've got the horrible bits off now, so now's the time to put the speed up. Right, now we're at 2145. Okay, so now again, if you can do it, I recommend you stand on the left and we just come across here. Tool's not on my body. Okay, I'm putting my hand there because, well, I'm not actually, I'm just holding it, putting my fingers on there. Okay, I more do this so I can deflect the chips from me. They go under my hand, see? And there we go. Now these are roughing cuts, and you notice I'm not putting my tool flat, I'm turning it over. Okay. There we go. Right. Right, I can touch there. Something's making a rattling noise. It's the nut loose at the end of my lathe. That's it. I've just tightened it. Yeah. It's what stops my tailstock from sliding right off the end. Right, now I'm coming in now. I know it's not coming off, so well, I believe it's not coming off. Right, so there we go. Now we're getting it right. Now I can hear that. There's a slight bit just there. See how gentle I touch it? Right, just there. So get rid of that. That's probably a crack. Right, okay, I'm going to stop at that for a minute. Start to get an idea of what I want to do here. Yeah, it's this.
Oh, it's that bit.
It's this piece of wood here that's going to disappear in a minute. Okay, that's got like a crack bit. So just to get rid of that really quick, I'm going to start up again, make a few heavier cuts, and just get rid of that. Still there. That's it, then it's going to go. Now this piece of yew is very hard and very dry. Okay, now first thing I want to do, I want to put a tenon on this end. Come down here, I'm going to take I've got to move my tool rest along a little bit. This will go around that side. Yep. Okay, I want to take a small cut just to level the bottom up. Now you can see here it really shows how far above centre I'm actually cutting. Okay. Now I can have a bit of room for a tenon. I'm going to use these gripper jaws up here. So I think that's probably about enough. There. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so that's my tenon. And I'm going to use the gripper jaws because I want to be able to get hold of that. So if there are any cracks, it's not going to come apart on me. Now this end I want to take down. Right, again. You can see where I'm cutting above centre, and I'm bringing my tool in come down like this. Right, once I get that in the chuck there, I'll be taking a little bit off of that end, but I'm coming down it. Right, now I need 35 mil, so there I've got 25 at the moment. Right, now I've got 35, but I want a little bit more because I want to clean up the top. So I'm going to go another one. Right, like so. I'm just going to roll that and come across here, clean that up. Right, now what I want to do is get the diameter of it, which is, I'm just going to have a check on something. Stay with me. Right, okay, that's it. Right, this is the diameter I need this top to be. So you can see I've got to come down a bit. So now I can do that on this top bit here. So if it goes wrong on this bit, I'll go too far, it doesn't matter. Oh, there, look at that. Near enough dead on. Oh, there, look, what a guess. Right, so now we come down to this. Right, now I'm going to just do a little cut this way. Just to clean that there. Okay, so I've got bevel in contact. Right, so that's the bevel on. Okay, don't just hold it there and turn it, that won't give you a nice finish. Right, that's that. Now, sorry, I've got to do another cut down here. About this deep. Right, that's going to tell me where I want to put a bead on that. Right, okay, now I've got quite a bit of wood to get rid of. So what I'm going to do for this bit here, I'm just going to bring it down. That's it. That just saved me a little bit of time, okay? Right, I'm going to get this mounted in the chuck. Let me just stop it. Tell you what I've done so far. Right, look, we've got a nice finish on that piece there, because that's what I'm keeping, is this bit. I'm going to take that end off, okay? I think this might have some cracks, but if it has, I'm going to super glue it, because it's got so many lines and stuff, it won't matter. So now I'm going to be shaping this piece here and coming in on this, and this piece I wanted to keep to roll as a little bead, okay? So I'm going to mount this in the chuck and I'll bring you back. Okay guys, I've got it turned round, and now I'm going to start doing some shaping on it, okay? Like I say, I took some of this away, and I'm going to take the rest away with the round carbide, okay? Now, like I say, if you want to go flat, remember we can go flat here and get this away. But what you mustn't do is come up this way, because if you come up that way, you're going into end grain, and that's not going to give you a very nice finish, okay? Really, we want all our cuts to go this way, okay? And I like to do it by rolling it over, and that way you'll get a good finish. And I'm going to show you here. I'm going to come down here like this to there, and then I'm going to come in flat and go down here like so. So you can see, and I'm stopping it, the difference. Right, here we get this lovely smooth cut. That's with it rolled over, that's with it flat, okay? And that's what you'll get. It will tear the grain up. Look at that finish on that compared to that. That's the difference between going like that on a bevel and going flat like that, okay? It makes me laugh when I see these ones and they say, oh, look at that finish, and when they stop it, they don't stop like that and just show you the piece. As it stops, it's just going to stop, and then the video cuts, and then they show the piece stop, and they go, oh, look how smooth that is. Like you don't know it's been sanded. Come on, we're not stupid. Right, anyway, I'm gonna I want to get more of a bulbous on this, so I'm going to come in here with a parting tool. This is sort of where my finish is going to be. Going to get rid of this little end bit here, so I don't have any sticking out. Right, okay, that's it. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this round a bit. Remember when you're cutting round, just get on that bevel, use your bevel for a bit of control. Nice slow cut. All the way round, and you'll get a beautiful finish in one go all the way round. Okay, now I want to come around here. I've got to get that neck down to that size there. So I'm just going to start from around here for the moment. I'm just going to put my cutter there, look, no cutting, and all it is just to rotate, raise the handle slightly, come in for the cut, and there we go. There we are, like so. And now I want to roll that as a little bead there. Okay, and then just come down here. Finish that in there. Come down there. There, that's just like a little bead there, okay? I'm just going to come in and just get that to finish like so. That's it, that's nice. Okay, so I've got a bead, and now I'm going to come here. There we go. I'm not going to touch that actually. Well, I am. I'm going to bring that in a little bit. So I'll get that to all one flow like that. Right, I'm happy with that bit there. Okay, so I'm happy with that top. Now I've just got to work on this side. And I'm going to put it into my left hand the tool. So I turn a bit left-handed now. The reason I'm going to turn left-handed is because I'm up against the wall here. So, right, that's pretty much it, you know, a pretty simple shape. I've got a feeling there is a little bit of a crack there, because I can hear it.
It made a little sound, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay. That all feels alright, that don't feel too bad there. There's a very slight, so stop and have a look. I've got a little bit of a roughness just on there. Now, I can tell you exactly what's causing that. It's because this is the softer sapwood, and this is the harder heartwood. So although you don't really notice it, there is a little bit of a bounce going on, okay, and it's right on the crest here, which is what I expect really. So what I'm going to do, we'll see how I can get rid of that, and I think what that will be is if I take the detail, okay, and I'm going to run the detail across it, and I'm going to come in here and see if I can get a nice little shear cut. Now this is where we get a problem, because I come to the crest there. I'm going to turn my tool handle round a bit, right, because I don't want to go downhill, okay? You mustn't go downhill, not with this cut. So I'll get right to that crest. We're okay down here, it's only on that crest. I'm going to go for another one just from this bottom up. There we go. And then I'm going to try and see if I can just brush in here, just start it and come across like that. That's it. I've got just a slight join bit there. There. Right, now let's show you that finish and see what we've got on that finish. Right, and there you see, look, it's all gone. Okay, and that's using the detail chisel to do that. Right, okay, let's get back to what we're doing. Right, I've got to reduce that a little bit on that end. Okay, I said I've got to bring that down a little bit, and then I've just got to do a little clean finish on that. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to start it up, and then I'm going to back this away once it's actually turning. Reason being is it's all to do with inertia. As you start turning, you know, you've got a lot of inertia. As you first turn it, if it's going to move, that's when it would move. If I keep that in and then take it away, it works better. Right, nice and gentle, because we're sticking out a little bit. There we go, like that. Just, oh, that's all I want, is it flat. That's all it's got to be for what I'm doing. Now I'm going to take the detail chisel and I'm just going to put a little chamfer on it. Tiny little chamfer like that, and notice how I do it that way, okay? Right, so that's the detail done with for the moment. And I'm going to use the round just to come in and do a little clean up here. Like that, because I just noticed there was a little mark there. That's it, that's done. That's alright, okay? Now, I can't have that bottom as a square edge on this side. I don't want the round cutter for this. I want to go back to my detail. Use the detail for this. Now we're not pushing in flat, okay? We're actually going to cut like this and use our bevel. There we go, and we're just going to create that little shadow line.
A little shadow line, yeah.
Okay, and that's it. And then I can just brush it on that side, and that's that. Now that's ready for sanding. Okay, so I'm going to give it a quick sand. A little bit of a 180 grit. Just for that bit. That's not, I want it sanded, but that's not over important, that bit. But this little bead is, and it's only a bead on one side, it's a straight on that side, okay? So as you can see, it's a bead that side, straight the other side. I mean, this is for what I'm doing. Obviously, if you're doing something, you do something different. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. A 180 grit. Now it's yew, so don't linger with the paper because you don't want no heat build up. feels very nice. Right, that's that, with that. Now I'm going to go over to a little bit of, I think I've got a 240 on here. Now the reason I'm using this filter, it's nice, it gives a good sanding and it doesn't generate heat as long as you keep it moving. Keep jumping up and hitting that, which I don't mean to do. That's all good. Right, that's with, pretty sure that's a 240. I'm going to just do a very quick bit with a 320 and that'll be it. I'm not going any more than 320. There we go, that's nice. Right, and then what I'm going to do is use a little bit of 240 just to come in and do this little bit by hand on that bead. There we go, I think I'm quite happy with that. I'll turn that off. And what I'm going to do with this at this point is I'm going to put a bit of oil, because this is going to have an oil finish. Okay? And I'm going to put an oil finish on it before I actually part it off. So I'm going to slow it down so it don't splatter me. That can have oil on that, it's not going to hurt, nothing's being glued. I like to do it like this because then it helps it to dry a bit quicker, and then it will have another couple of coats and it'll have a few coats before it gets a buffing at the end. But obviously I can't make you wait that long here and now. So that's it for the minute. So now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to look at it, I don't need to, I know it's going to be good. Right, we'll turn that speed back up. And now I'm going to part it. I'm just going to come in there. I don't think I'm going to part this right through. It's a bit slippery and it's a bit weighty down this end. I'm going to give myself a bit of room. I'm debating now. I'll bugger it, I will go for it. But I was going to saw it, but I don't think I will. I was able to catch it. I was able to catch it, so that's alright. I weren't going to, but I thought, well, what the hell. It can only do one or two things, can't it? It can be successful or not. Right, okay. Let me put my sanding arbor in. And I'm just going to sand that little knobble off the bottom. Right, I will put my dust extractor on because this is Yew. There, that's gone. A little bit of a sand. Stop it. How am I meant to do if you're going to keep doing that? There, look at that. Nice bottom, okay? And I'm going to put, oh, that is beautiful.
Really nice,
oh, that
yeah.
is beautiful. That really does look, I like that.
Yeah.
Right, let's get rid of this stuff. Turn that noisy thing off. It's not actually that noisy. My dust extractor is outside. So I'm going to take the chuck off. Oh. Now, I know people have asked me before, is it an OCD thing? I have, when I keep closing my chucks up before I turn off. No, because that centre bit there, that in there, is what goes and sits on those bolts. So nothing, no threads are damaged. No threads were damaged in the making of this film. Right, okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my little table in.
Yeah, your little tape.
Here we go, guys. Oh, I was asked as well about my tool rests. I make all my own, okay? I don't make them to sell. They're just for me. I don't advertise them or nothing. I make them. I've got my 15-inch ones, okay? But I don't make them up to sell. They are just for me. So I'm afraid I can't help you with that. It's a shame, actually, that Style and Bates went, because they used to make them and sell them like that. I know you can get them off of various other people, but they are bloody expensive, like everything else.
Exactly, yeah.
Everyone seems to want to rip everyone off nowadays.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put a bit of oil on that base. Soak up some oil. Oh, that Yew is lovely.
Yeah.
That is lovely. Right, I'm just going to put a little bit. As I said, this will need a few coats of oil on here, like so. But you see the finish we got, and you see we didn't do a lot of sand in there, okay? We didn't go mega time. You see it all live, and you see the finish we got, and that's the finish we get from our carbides. I do like that sapwood in that. Look at that. I'm going to leave it that side because then we've got the brown
colours, yeah.
Okay, guys, and there you go. And that is, you're probably going to know what it is. Give me a second to just screw things back together. Oops. Just got to screw this back together. Give it a little bit of a blow. Right. And there we go, guys. I've got a bit of dust on it. Sorry about that. But there we go.
Dusty hands.
White light, dim light off. Okay. So I like the first light. That's the bright white, the white light. That's like a daylight. But I like the warm glow. I like that. That sets the wood off nice. Yeah. Look at that. That's a lovely little lamp. And we come down. Let me just get that sawdust off of that. It's because it's sticking to my hands. Yeah. I'm afraid.
Get a bit of tissue. That's it.
Bit of static. I'm full of electricity. I am.
Electrified.
Right. There we go, guys. And that's my lamp. I wanted to do another lamp, yes, and like I said, hit on these guys because these are going to be top craft fair sellers, I tell you. And if you can get some, this was a cracked up piece of Yew, and I've managed to get that piece out of it. I've got some other pieces. I'm going to do some other bits with. I've got a nice bit here. I'm keeping it in a carrier bag at the moment. It's not wet. This Yew is dry. It is very dry. I've got another slab here that I'm hoping to do something with. See here, this nice block like this, yeah, but it's still got the pith bit there, and it is crack. Look, it's got a crack there, and it's got a crack down here, so I'm going to lose a bit there. So I've really got to get that thinned down. So, but I'm keeping it Carbide, not because it's just that it's because I am.
Keep it on.
Hopefully that will stop. Well, it won't stop it cracking, but you know, it's there. I've got some
Until you use it.
some nice bits, some really nice bits of yew there, but they have got quite bad cracks in them. So sorting out the bits, but this bit came out all right because I had no cracks left. And now that's why I've done that little chamfer. If you look there at the bottom, that's why I'd like to do that little chamfer.
Yeah. I couldn't get it properly with the detail because it's
The little chamfer just there.
Yeah.
Okay, I've done with the detail chisel. I like that little chamfer just so that when it sits,
Gives like
it looks like a little shadow line.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's slightly floating.
Yeah.
Okay, and there you go. Right, that's it, guys. A yew lamp, and I'll see you on the next one. Get making some lamps, guys. These are going to really take the craft fairs. I'll tell you, the amount of people that have asked me for lamps now, and I'm not selling them. I'm not doing craft fairs. I said, like, well, you know, but yeah, absolutely brilliant. Toodle pip, guys. See you on the next one.
Bye, guys.